Hi guys, welcome along to today's ActiveNet Bites. And for those of you who tune in regularly to these ActiveNet Bites, you'll notice that you have a different host today. So we've actually got the spotlight on David. So hi David, welcome along to ActiveNet Bites.
Hi, Jules. How are you today?
Do you know what? I am great for two reasons. One, the sun is shining,
Mm,
and number two, ActiveNet is literally just around the corner.
mm.
It's pretty exciting. There's a lot of love, a lot of excitement on socials. People very much looking forward to joining us. So yeah, I'm feeling great. What about you?
Yeah, a little frazzled, as you can imagine. Converting nearly 2,000 requests into 700 meetings is a really interesting piece of work.
Mhm.
And then, as always happens, we get some changes, and the changes have the ripple effect. So it's hotel rooms, it's food, it's all of those types of things as well. But I have to say, all of that pales into insignificance when you actually start delivering it, which is such good fun. It's just wonderful seeing 150 people, a lot of whom we all know,
Mhm.
actually working together for the benefit of the sector and their customers. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is one of the reasons, really, David, that I wanted to bring you into ActiveNet Buys today, because I mean, I've been part of LeisureNet now for 7, 8 months,
Mhm.
and which is mad, it's flown by. And one of the first things I noticed and have continued to see in you is your absolute dedication and commitment to ActiveNet, and not it's not tick a box, it's not put on an event. You know, your heart and soul goes into bringing the industry together to create an event of real value that is
Mhm.
collaborative, that is positive. um, and so I'd really love to know, David, what does ActiveNet mean to you?
Um, I think ultimately ActiveNet, it's the outcome of a shed load of time, effort, and work put into
Mhm.
helping the people who work in the sector to be better at what they do. And it's the accumulation of an awful lot of relationships, of networking, of understanding what suppliers deliver, and more
Mhm.
importantly, what experiences the operators, the buyers need to think about to enhance their experience. And we've got 7 or 8 brand new suppliers coming to the event, and there's some really fabulous stuff that is, really on the cutting edge of opportunity for people to grow and learn. And I think I've always wanted to have an impact on the sector, and I think in a small way, by introducing these organizations to these new activities that their customers then take part in, just increases the physical activity of the nation. And that's a great feeling. So I think that ultimately is why I do it. And as you said, we're always evolving, we're always looking for new things. And I think that's the real challenging bit for me now, is how do you make the event just that little bit better than it was last
Mhm.
time? Which is odd, because of course we also want churn. We want new operators. We want new suppliers coming, because if it's the same people turning up every time, you lose a lot of value. So we normally hit about 25% on both buyers and suppliers for new operators and new suppliers coming along. So yeah, no, it's ActiveNet it makes me smile. It's hard work. There's no two ways about it, but it just makes me smile. It makes me feel as if I am having an impact, and that's
Yeah.
quite important to me.
Yeah, no, and I see that, and absolutely from attending ActiveNet in Scotland. I mean, like I said, I've only been here a few weeks, but absolutely, you could see you were buzzing, working around people, making sure that everyone got the most out of the time that they
Mm.
had with us. So I can only imagine it's going to be so much bigger, and you're going to be all over the place next week in a good way,
Mm.
and making sure that everyone gets the most out of their time with us, from the CPD sessions through to the networking, and then obviously we've got Synergy Dance and My Zone as
Mm.
well. So although I'm not going to wear your belt this year, David. I just that was far too much pressure. So what can our guests expect next week?
So ActiveNet format remains the same. We just have little tweaks. So effectively, we start with our CPD panels, and we're always really privileged to have UK Active, CIMSPA, Community Leisure UK, and we tend to get Hugh and Tara,
Mhm.
etc., come and speak for us on our keynote panel. And we're talking about decarbonisation in the public sector, absolutely vital, and links very much to what Sport England are doing with the new
Mhm.
funding stream that's come through recently. So the CPD gives you 2 CIMSPA CPD points, and gives you some real insight. So we've got 3 breakouts that follow the keynote, and the The keynote goes into solutions. So what can we do? How can we make a difference? A little bit more technical stuff around the decarbonisation piece. And we're also doing some data-led insights, which are about energy, are about participation, but it's about what's happening and how do we maximise the knowledge from that. We have some breaks, and we always have lots of coffee breaks. There's coffees, waters, biscuits, whatever. It's a great place to go and meet somebody, have a chat to somebody. And those are the moments actually that you referred to where, if you've not got on the schedule the person you want to speak to, that's when you talk to us and we arrange an introduction and things like that. And then basically, like the room you can see behind me, we then break into our meetings. So they're all pre-scheduled. They're 20 minutes in length. There's a 5-minute break between each one. And you basically move as an operator to a different table. Supplier stays where they are. So you can see some in the background there, Simpspa and Leisure-Nets and a few others, and NBS, the old NBS sign there at the back. It's a buzz. It's loud, it's noisy, but it's really quite intense. People are making the most of those 20-minute communications. And of course, for suppliers, it means they're not traveling to 16 different places around the country to see these people. They're doing it in one room. So we're really working hard to achieve our goal, which is to deliver a net carbon zero, a net carbon neutral event.
Yeah, I mean, it really is fantastic, isn't it? And I think also from a supplier's perspective, not having to get in the car and travel, the amount of time that's saved as well is incredible. So lots going on. It's going to be busy. We've got opportunities to exercise, and then talk us about the evening. What can we expect then?
Well, the exercise is really important, and I'm glad you raised that. ActiveNet, we're networking and we're in the active sector, but we need to be active. So we always put on a couple of classes. There's also a swimming pool and a gym available as well. And one of our suppliers is going to deliver some classes for us, which are about inclusivity. So this is about trying to understand what we need to do in a way to make our group exercise inclusive. And we're partnering MyZone. So MyZone, we've got some belts that people can take away as a result of this event. So you can get your own rather than borrowing mine this time. And we've got the ability to try some of these new classes out so that we can experience what is required in order to make our classes more inclusive. And we're also doing a remote class on the following morning, quite early in the morning. So you can do it in your bedroom in the hotel if you want to, or you can do it at home if you're not able to get there. Because, of course, the other thing we're doing is live streaming, which we mustn't forget. We are offering the opportunity for people to join our live stream for our CPD. It's free of charge, just register. There's loads of social media out there. You can find the registration page real easy. So yeah, don't forget that. So you could take part in an exercise class with our ActiveNet delegates, and you can also take part in the live stream as well. But activity is really important because that's who we are, that's what we do. So we also are very healthy around our food. Food has to have good colour, it has to have low carbon miles, it has to be healthy, it has to be good for you. So we're really careful on how we build all of that to make sure that we're delivering, we're preaching and delivering as we say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I can't wait to try the Synergy dance classes, and I think make a really important point there that it's important we experience it as well. But yeah, so my alarm will be set for sure for the nice early morning workout on the Thursday. So you talk about live stream there, and earlier you mentioned, David, about being innovative, and actually it's been a really interesting journey to go on this with you because we reached capacity, we had a waiting list which has already moved into Scotland, which we'll come on to in a moment. And so live stream was born basically out of a necessity of two things. A, we were full, and B, something that sort of you and I feel very strongly about is sharing best practice and ensuring that the wider industry gets access to the knowledge from the keynote and the breakout session. So really delighted that we can offer this year.
Yeah, it's great, Jules. And the other thing, of course, is we're going to record it as well. So if you can't make the event, you can't make the live stream, we're also going to have it recorded. So we will be able to share that even wider with the sector, because there is going to be some really interesting information. I was talking to Tara about this earlier, and she's picked up some really interesting information around company turnover, the amount they're spending on energy, etc. So this is the type of stuff that's been used to influence the DCMS. This is the type of information that's been used to make our case as a sector for the support we need to be able to continue to deliver community facilities to the community. Yeah, no, it is. It's brilliant. Well, I'm very much looking forward to those sessions. So mention Scotland. September will be here before we know it. So we're returning to the Crowth Hydro
6th of September, and bookings are already underway.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 9 suppliers signed up and 10 buyers at the moment. So people like Edinburgh Leisure, Inverclyde, KA Leisure, and the Key Zone. So yeah, it's really pleasing to see the demand. I've had some great feedback from Scotland. People really enjoyed, you know, as you said, the wonderful Crieff Hydro. What a fantastic place. But ultimately, it was also about bringing an event to Scotland as well, and that was, I think, was very well received from our point of view. So yeah, very pleased. And then of course we're back to Eastwood Hall in March on the 27th and 28th of March 2024. Really good theme for both of them actually this time. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, can you share that with us, David, and talk a bit more around the theme for those, please?
Yeah, well, the themes, we always try to do something that's topical, and I think this one's quite topical at the moment, and I think will become more topical. So we're doing recruitment and retention of team members. So trying to understand how we recruit, where we recruit, what we have to do in order to make ourselves attractive for recruitment, and then most importantly, how do we make sure that people want to stay with us and create a career within this sector? You know. I was lucky enough to be a 17-year-old lifeguard all those years ago, and I've had a really interesting career path. I love what I do. I was having this conversation with 3 colleagues the other day. There's only 3 days I can remember that I didn't enjoy in this career, and I can tell you where I was, what I was doing, and what those were about. So it's a wonderful place to be. Yeah, that's another conversation. That's another conversation, and we will hide identities to protect the innocent. But the whole piece around this is also then supported by Active IQ. So Active IQ are going to support both of these, as you'd expect. They're one of the best awarding organisations out there at the moment, and you know they're going to provide us with a level 2 mental health awareness qualification for every single person that comes to ActiveNet Scotland and ActiveNet in March next year. So we are again contributing to the sector. We're offering an opportunity for people to get a qualification to assist them to support their team members, and those types of things are really important to us going forward.
They are, and I think on that point, it is so much more than a networking event, isn't it? You get so much value from the CPD, the training, the collaborative approach. It's just fantastic. So David, I want to thank you for your time today, not only for joining me in ActiveNet Bites, which I know you feel very odd that you're not on this side and hosting it, and actually a bigger thank you, David, for your continued drive, determination, and passion for delivering an event that really does make a difference. So thanks so much.
Thanks, Jules. And just before I go, I also need to say a huge thank you to David Stalker, who's going to be our after dinner speaker, talking about the work they're doing on Zoo Poo at Marwell Zoo. Future Fit for Business as well, who are sponsoring the drinks, because it's important that we take time to socialise and enjoy as well. And Leisure Energy are also providing every delegate with a gift too. So it's a really nice way of taking away some really good insight, some great networking opportunity, but also getting to know people in a social environment as well. But Jules, thanks for this. Really interesting to be this side of the table. Thank you.
My pleasure. Right. Take care, David. Thanks so much.
Cheers. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.